Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. This is Underground Noise, webisode number 9. I'm here with the well-known death metal band known as Abaddon Incarnate. They're from Ireland. If you guys aren't familiar with them, you should check them out. How's it going today, guys?
Oh, cool, man. Alex, is it Alex or Alexander?
Alex.
Alex, man, thanks for having us on your show. We're doing good. Yeah, happy to talk to you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers. For those that don't know who these guys are, it's Steve Maher and also Bill Whelan. They're probably the only two original members left in the band.
No, we've got Olin as well. Olin, the drummer.
Oh, you still got Ola?
Well, he left for about fucking a million years and then he came back.
Yeah.
Well,
So he come back last year, I think, or the year before.
yeah, I got a copy of your album right here, The Last Supper. And this is a rare album to find nowadays.
Yeah, man. I don't think the label doesn't have any left. I know that.
Yeah, that was.
I've got none left either.
You got a few there.
That was
No, they're all gone. Like I got nothing left. So like, yeah.
I got none as well. Yeah, so that's a good sign. It was pretty popular.
Yeah, Season of Mist Records. I think they're still around.
Yeah, man, they do lots of really big fucking shit bands now.
Yeah, they had Defiled on their label for a while too. So
did they? Yeah, they do like they're like a proper big label now. They don't deal with shitty underground death metal bands anymore, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I'd like to ask you guys, who are your musical influences?
I'll go first. So for me, it's always kind of been the same. It hasn't really changed a lot through the years. So I'd say majority of it is really around Immolation and still Morbid Angel and stuff like that. So that's from that's where it kind of come up with the kind of harmonies and stuff like that. So it's all based from Immolation. That's pretty much it. It hasn't really changed a lot in the 30 years that we've been doing this shit. So like I haven't gone with a lot of like Nazm stuff like that, but it still come from the core. So generally I would still kind of write a lot of death metal riffs, and then kind of the more choppier, kind of faster grind songs we do is probably from listening to Nazm and the likes. But yeah, for me, it still goes back to the core kind of group of death metal kind of icon bands that are around today still. That's for me anyway.
Yeah, I'd be sort of a big Morbid Angel fan, from Autos of Madness, that kind of early Morbid Angel. And then, like fucking Napalm Death, like Bill Steer stuff, and Lee Dorian, the really old Napalm Death. And then Carcass, more Bill Steer. Terrorizer. That's the kind of shit that inspires my writing. But I listen to lots of shit, but like that would be the inspiration for me writing music for Abaddon Incarnate.
That's cool.
So it's pretty old school, kind of back to the early 90s shit, I think you kind of get retarded in your early 20s, don't you, with music sometimes.
Yeah, I was reading up on Wikipedia a little bit about you guys, that you started out as a band called Bereaved, and then you changed the name to Abaddon Incarnate. My question is, why did you change the band name, and who came up with the name Abaddon Incarnate?
So why did we change the band name? It was really about a restructuring of the band. So we had 5 members, and it wasn't working out with one in particular, musical differences at the time. And so we kind of regrouped, and we thought it was a good time at that stage to change the name of the band because of the kind of restructure. One guy pretty much was leaving. And also our musical direction was at that time very much kind of death metal around Sepultura. We wanted to go into a much more basic, not grind, but more death metal, like Morbid Angel kind of veer. So we said we'll change the name of the band to Abaddon Incarnate. why we chose that name. I remember the evening we were doing it. We were getting shit faced in I think Ashling's apartment, right? At the time.
Owen's girlfriend.
Yeah, and I think I can't remember, Steve. Like Abaddon came up.
We had a
And-
list. We had a list of all these fucking names. We had like 50 names. All really shit. Really like a brainstorm. We just put down all the shit we could find, and then I think Owen came up with the name.
I think he
But
did actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Owen, the drummer of our band, he was playing in Bereaved for about 6 months, I think, before we changed the name. And he brought this kind of idea that he wanted to play blast beats, because we were just kind of mid-pace step metal. We weren't playing blast beats, and he was like talking about Fruit and Cryptopsy, and so I was already into the blast beats from Morbid Angel and stuff like that, and so we just wanted to get like more aggressive and a faster band, and then Bereaved just seemed like a really kind of sad, doomy kind of old school death metal name. So we just wanted to fresh the whole thing up, and we had all the demon imagery and shit, so we just went down that road with it, and yeah, it just stuck. We talked about changing it a few times actually over the years, but we never did. So thank you us, because I enjoy the fact that we've been such a long-lived band. It's like 25 years, or maybe 1995. I don't know the math.
Yeah, I'm a bit unclear about the year myself.
Yeah.
Now we're going like about 30 years, but yeah, we were. When we were Bereaved and getting on stage, or when Steve was getting on stage, like, "Hi, we are Bereaved." It's like, sounds shit. Like, so, yeah, we're all bereaved. It's like, no, that's not working.
We're more we're fucking
Yeah.
Bereaved.
You're like miserable. Should have been a black metal band or something called Bereaved. Anyway, so yeah, that's the kind of.
That's cool. What type of music gear do you guys use to create your sound?
What kind of music do we use to create the sound? What do
Like
you mean?
music gear, like
Gear.
instrument-wise?
All right. Yeah, so we have the HM2 pedal. I don't know if you know that guitar pedal, which has the Swedish sound that everybody fucking uses. All Entombed and Nasum, they have this Exhumed, all these bands, that pedal. And then Bill's got a new Ibanez guitar. You want to tell him about your new guitar, Bill?
Oh yeah. I bought a new Ibanez. It's kind of like one of the OG series. Yeah, it's 7 strings, just like a bit of a beast of a guitar. So I haven't bought one in ages. And so our setup is pretty simple. It's, as Steve says, a heavy metal pedal, and with kind of a noise suppressor, and that's it. Like, we've over the years we've had pedal boards and stuff like that, but don't really use them now. It's just mainly the heavy metal pedal, and we'll probably put in delays now, but for soloing I tend to not keep to the same solos, just because I've forgotten them over the years. So I just, every time I play live, apart from a few key solos, I play different stuff all the time. So I don't really use the delay pedal, but I might start using that again live. But it's a simplistic setup from a guitar, and then we just plug into whatever's there on a clean channel, and off we go.
Yeah, because we're in Ireland, which is like a small island, and we have to fly everywhere to go to Europe and shit. So it's really hard to bring these big fucking amps anywhere,
Yeah.
So we don't bother with that. We just sort out an amp where we go. We like I beg, borrow, steal fucking amp to use. That's a good amp, with valves and shit. But I don't have a valve amp at home to play with. I just have a solid fucking crate. I think you've got the same, Bill. Yeah, my 7-string Ibanez as well, which is a new thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it kind of, you get where you're going with your sound, so you can go anywhere, turn it to clean, plug in, so you know what you're going to sound like. It came back from, we started in like 2000, recording Nadir basically, and then it hasn't really changed much through the years. It's pretty much stayed at that. There's been some tweakings on it, but we've kind of gone to that Swedish sound. So I don't think we're going to deviate from it too much, but it's very difficult to get your own original sound. I think we probably have that live now. You kind of know when you listen to it's us, but on record, it's very hard to have an original sound that stands out from everyone else, with the diversity of sounds and bands that are out at the moment. So I think we have a weird style of playing, Bill. So I think
that kind of shines through and makes it a bit different.
Yeah,
So
well,
you play
hopefully
it.
so. Yeah.
That brings me to my next question. What tuning do you guys play in?
It's an A sharp. A
Yeah.
sharp. So we dropped the E string, like a drop D, and then tuned that to A sharp, and then tuned the D string to D A sharp. So A sharp, whatever the next one is, A sharp, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I've never been very a technical musician, but I just know I have to get the tuner to say A sharp, and then I got to set the rest of it up. And
Yeah, it's kind of standard tuning after that, you know.
I mean, we were doing demos for some new stuff, and I tuned down to B, and it sounded fucking sick. But like the problem is, you just can't hear the fucking riff. It's just like, so it's pretty. It's like all the slow bits are cool, but then all the fast fucking grind bits are just like, what the fuck's that, you know? So you have to just go up a little bit, back up to A sharp again. So yeah,
I can understand that.
it's just as low as we can go without the whole thing go to shit.
Where have you always wanted to tour, and why?
Where do we want to tour?
Where we haven't been. I guess number one is, well, is the US. It's not. No, I would really like to do the US, and we haven't for whatever reason, because we've done a lot of places, like the most bands would go to. So yeah. So
the problem with America has always been fucking visas and your immigration control and all that shit. You got some really strict immigration rules. So we can go to Australia with no visa. You can just go in as a tourist with your guitar and you can get away with it. But you can't do that in America. They'll fucking lock you up in Guantanamo or something.
Yeah.
So,
what are you guys doing here? Okay. Well, we've never actually played one gig in the US, not one festival even. So it's a bit unfortunate, but I'd love to do a couple of shows in a festival or two over there. Everywhere else, huh?
It'd be cool to play some festivals, like, you know, some of the big festivals, like Maryland Death Fest and all that. They're awesome, you know. There's so many fucking cool bands.
I know. We turned that down years ago.
Did we?
What were we thinking? Yeah.
Why the fuck did we do that?
I don't know.
Money or shit. They probably didn't pay. They probably wanted us to fly over and we didn't have the money.
Yeah.
They just might want you guys to be a little bit louder, that's all.
You want me to fucking shout a bit? Oh, you want us to? Yeah.
That's funny. I was gonna ask you guys, what is your interpretation of the song called Nihilist?
Oh yeah. So I wrote the lyrics for that thing. So it's just about, you know, just being on a complete fucking destructive kind of vibe. You just wake up and just want to destroy everything. So it's all about destroying society, destroying humanity, destroying the fucking planet, destroying everything. It's just complete destruction. I mean, when I was 20, I think I wrote that when I was 19 or 20, and you know, I just a very fucking angry cunt. Like I just had his face on me all the time. I wanted to blow the fucking world up, man. And that's what it's about. I just want to put a bomb on the real fucking thing and just blow it up. And so nihilist, you know, struck me as a term for, you know, destruction for the sake of destroying things. So it was just a pure form of anger. So I just wrote some shit.
I understand.
I wrote some pretty fucking rubbish back then, really. You know, it's that stage of your life, you know. You have different influences and different motivations at different stages of your life, and I don't know where I'll be in 10 years or 20 years, but it's constantly changing. So it's interesting. It's interesting and embarrassing sometimes looking back at some of this shit, but what can you do?
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
If you could bring back one dead musician, who would it be?
Bill? I'd bring back Quotar, man, because I'm on a big fucking battery buzz lately. You know, I listen to shit like a battery, and I don't know, everything he fucking does is just fucking perfect.
I love Richard Brunel.
Richard Brunel, yeah, man. But the thing was, man, he hadn't played anything in fucking years, though. You know, he was.
Yeah, it was a shame.
He kind of peaked, and then.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was talking to. I think he had some drug problems. I was talking to him on MySpace, actually. You know, remember MySpace before it crashed?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I was talking to him for a bit on that, and he had some riffs and shit, and he had like a really horrible drum machine behind it, and he was like, "This is my new stuff," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds good," but it didn't sound good. But he had a really nice style of playing, you know, and he did some fucking really nice stuff with Morbid Angel. So and he seemed like a pretty
Morbid
decent
Angel,
dude.
right?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Richard Brunel, you know, the guy that played on the first two albums.
Yeah, Blessed Are the Sick and Ultras and Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, so
that instrumental off of Blessed Are the Sick is just amazing.
Desolate Ways.
That's what it is. Desolate Ways. I just couldn't think of it. Yeah, it's
fucking
beautiful.
Bill used to play that in the acoustic, remember, years ago.
Yeah, that's smart. Right, yeah, smart.
That is really cool.
Mm.
Do you guys have any careers outside of the music industry?
You have to have a career because the music we're playing is not a career, man. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm in IT.
Yeah, I do lots of
stuff like that.
Yeah, you're a computer programmer. I do I do carpentry in the winter, and in the summer I'm an outdoor activities instructor. So I bring kids out in the countryside and teach them how to survive.
That sounds like fun.
It is fun. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, some of these bands, you know, they're definitely laughing their way to the bank these days.
The what? Sorry?
Some of the bands nowadays are laughing their way to the bank.
I wonder.
Yeah,
remember that Dave Elson thing recently? I found out he was only earning $4,000 a month or something.
You were telling me that, yeah. Jesus.
Dave Elson from Megadeth, you know, he got caught jerking off on the internet.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then but it came out that he was only earning $4,000 a month, but that's dollars, so it's not a lot of money really.
Cross back up. Sorry, my cat just came in to say hi to you guys. He likes metal himself, so.
He's a metal cat. That's cool.
Yeah, he loves it.
Metal pussy.
What was the first instrument that you played?
Mine would have been piano. Now, like, you mean played well? I mean, when I was younger, like 7 and 8, just like tinkering around.
Like when you were a kid growing up.
Yeah, it was that, just playing around with it. Never got lessons or anything like that. So the guitar was the one that kind of, when I was probably, what age was I? Jesus, 13, 14? Really just started playing just before I met Steve, to be honest with you.
Really?
So, yeah, it wasn't that long. So
you were miles ahead of me, man. I've been playing since I was 11 or 10. So I've been playing a good 3 or 4 years ahead of you. I think you were playing on bands and shit, and I was just kind of fucking around at home. So maybe
which really brings you on, like it's always said, you know. But yeah, so like piano and but that was just fucking around. Whereas properly like into it was a guitar when I was I was like 13, 14.
Yeah, my stepfather and my uncle play guitar, so I've always had guitars around, but I only started properly learning it when I was about 11. And my mother played piano, so I always fucked around on the piano, you know, when she wasn't home. I never learned how to play properly, but I could fucking bang out a tune, you know. But it's probably the same with guitar.
It's kind of like how it was for me when I was a kid. You know, I started out on recorder in music class. Then I learned how to play clarinet, doing stuff by ear. Then I went to guitar. So,
it's. I mean, there's two types of people in the world. It's like super technical people that read off a sheet and they fucking get everything really precise and tight. And then there's the other people that just do everything by ear and they're sloppy and they're very much more creative, I think. You know, that's more creative people. And then there's the people that can do both, which are just fucking, they're the people that make the money. But it's it's interesting.
That's definitely a lot of it right there. Are there any bands that you guys have not shared the stage with that you've always wanted to share the stage with?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them. Trying to think of one particular.
Played with so many fucking bands now that we grew up with. We never played with Immolation, Bill.
No, we did. Yeah, we did it at Dead Fest.
Oh fuck, we did.
But Because I was about to say them, I went, oh yeah, shit, yeah. So yeah, like, not that when I go like, oh, we played with this, but we we play with Morbid Angel and Napalm and Immolation. So like they're kind of three iconic ones that I really, that you really like. There's plenty more that we haven't. We've just been in a lucky situation that we have got to play with those. But
I just want to fucking go out and play any gig now, man. I don't care. After this lockdown, I don't care who the fuck's playing with. I just want to play. I don't think we haven't played a gig in like 2 years. It just sucks. We like for about a couple of years before that, we were on tour like every other month nearly. Well, I was, but no, Bill, you weren't able to go on some of them. But like,
I know, but there's a lot going on. Yeah,
there was a lot going on. Like we went to Australia twice in 2 years. Fucking being over to Russia, being over fucking Europe, being Spain, Portugal, UK, just constantly fucking touring, and then all of a sudden, stop.
Yeah.
COVID, fucking dickhead disease. Stay at home, protect the old people. Okay, sorry. Party's over, dude.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's back on now. But yeah, so we're really looking forward to obviously recording the album and getting back out there. So sometime in 2020. Actually, we're doing that festival in October. Is that going to happen?
I think so. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to Copenhagen in October, playing the Grindcore Family Festival in Copenhagen in October 1st and 2nd. I think it's still going ahead. So hopefully.
That's great. Yeah.
I hope that goes well for you guys.
Yeah, there's just lots of really small kind of grindcore bands. There's no big names, but it's a really cool festival to play at, and it's good just to fucking do something, And then we're recording the new album in August, so hopefully it will be out by then, and we'll be able to fucking.
Well, if I could be there, I would definitely be there.
Cool.
You guys.
So you're going to Georgia. You said you're moving to Georgia. Is that like South Georgia or North? There's two of them, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be north of like the state of Georgia. It's right above Florida.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll have to come there and play some fucking shows then. If you.
Yeah, you guys come to Atlanta, I'll definitely hit you guys up. Be like, hey, can you guys sign that for me?
Yeah.
Can we get some pictures?
Yeah, cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah. If you hear of any festivals that want an international band, they don't cost too much money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm on my Facebook like maybe 10 times a day, if that, compared to how many times I used to be when I first started out.
Oh yeah.
But I'm always interacting with bands, trying to get more musicians to talk with me about their music and see what keeps them going.
Well, it's interesting shit, isn't it? Like to talk to bands about their influences and stuff. That's one of the things I like about touring. You meet other bands and you can shoot the shit with people that have the exact same fucking passion and hobby as you.
Absolutely.
And you can talk about bands and guitar and live and touring and all the shit and the stress and labels and everything. It's exactly the same fucking shit that you do, and it's like. Yeah,
you identify quickly, don't you? You kind of click. You have a few beers and it's you're going away to go and play a festival. You're going away on tour and you're going hanging out with your buddies, but then you get to meet people you haven't met before that are just like you. So you just click, and so it's a really good environment to be around if you're doing that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and. It's just great fun, and you go back to shit life, and you're like, oh fuck this, but you get look forward to doing it hopefully in a couple of months again, so that keeps you going. So
I do call it the post-tour depression.
Yeah, exactly.
Depressions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Totally there. And so I feel for bands now that were doing just about okay before COVID, and the COVID must have just they must have really suffered. So
the fucking bands like Napalm Death, that they have to go out every summer on tour to pay the fucking bills, and they can't do anything else because they've done that since they were fucking 15 or something. So they're completely useless members of society. They have to go out fucking tour, and then this has just been taken away from them. They have to apply to the fucking government for some grant or something to keep them going, and it's like,
that's rough. Like I was listening to Immolation being interviewed there, I don't know, a couple years ago, and they have some of these bands, like big bands, still have their daytime job.
Yeah.
But like
Mhm.
that's crazy. But I don't think probably the Napalm, I don't think they have. I wouldn't say Morbid Angel have anymore, you know, the or Nile or whatever. But some of them are in that in between that COVID must have just annihilated them.
I know that
So
you know that Mitch Harris from Napalm Death. He's a teacher. He's a fucking
that's
he teaches
mad.
kids. Yeah, but then you know when they have the summer off, that's when they do all the gigs.
Of course, yeah.
But then he's not in the band anymore. He left about fucking 5 years ago. So that's my old head struggling to keep up with current affairs. But but that was interesting for me anyway.
You guys have any hobbies?
Play guitar.
Yeah.
I mean,
I,
like,
I, I,
you guys
I
like
have
video games or play sports?
so kids kind of kill all that. I've no time, just about time to write music and record and jam. So yeah, so I've got two little kids that run around and smack the shit out of me. So I don't have much outside of doing work and music. So yeah, other than that, no, just music and that's it.
Yeah, I do a lot of like hiking, camping, kayaking, outdoor shit, and that's I've got my qualifications to be an instructor and that through that, and I've kind of turned that into a job. But that's my hobby. So on my days off, I get into the camper van and go fucking into the mountains or whatever, and yeah. And then there's music, like I play guitar all the time, and just always pick the guitar. I've got guitar like nearly in every room. I've got a guitar, so I just so that's cool. And then yeah, that's about it really. And
Yeah,
then work. Yeah.
it's
And
definitely good
you?
to stay active. Well, personally, my hobbies basically playing video games, going for walks, playing with my cat.
Yeah, I play with my cats too. But I've never actually got into video games, man. It's never been a thing for me. I just
Oh, I loved
uh,
them.
yeah.
Tech like years ago. Oh, I got it when I was younger, and then like in in my 20s playing the PlayStation. Oh my god, yeah, I used to love that. And then I know they're so much more sophisticated now, and I haven't really got into the last 10 or 15 years, but they're they're crazy fun and they're crazy addictive. I totally get how people would just, and now the fact they've got so many of those events, where it's just people make a huge amount of money from gaming as well. But it would totally consume me. I think if I got back into it, I'd just be like sat at my desk the whole time. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So, but it's great fun, you know.
That's very cool. Have you guys ever tried to write any other genres of music other than death metal or grindcore?
Oh yeah, I've done
Not
loads.
not as a band, not as Abaddon Incarnate, no. But like I've done with other bands, and Bill, you've done with other bands as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've always kind of like for uh for myself and for Steve, um, Abaddon has always been like the number one. So anything else it's never been going off and just like put 100% of your time. It's always that's the number one. That thing's just come up there, so I don't know if that's going to be cool. So yeah, but I like in fairness, I think for all four members of the band now, it's the same. It's the number one band. But over the years, yeah, it hasn't been like okay, this is just something on the side. Abaddon's always been like where our heart's been at. We've done different projects over the years, but
Even now, I like I pick my guitar up and I like write a black metal riff or something, and then I'll just make it heavier, and then I'll put some fucking technical shit in, and all of a sudden it's the Abaddon Incarnate riff again. I just keep coming back around to
yeah,
death metal and grindcore.
That's,
I try to do something different. If I wrote the acoustic thing on the guitar, I'm like, oh, that's nice. I wonder that will sound like a million miles an hour with
yeah.
distortion.
that's how you get it done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason why I ask is because some musicians, they've tried one, genre of music, it didn't work for them, but then they go to do something else and then boom, they make it.
Mm.
Oh yeah, well, it hasn't worked for us, but we just keep going at it.
we haven't made it. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with that TV show that's called American Idol, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
this guy on there named Keith Bukalaker, right?
Okay.
He went on there, he tried to sing a Madonna song, and Simon and Randy, they made fun of him so bad. But then he went back onto another show, like America's Got Talent or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out wearing a tie-dye outfit, and he was rapping The Baby Got Back. And Simon says yes. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. He really won them over. But I don't really watch that crap, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm more based on the underground metal scene, and
I think some people get into music with the whole point of them getting into the music is to make money and to be fucking famous. So that they'll get in, they'll write fucking pop music, and they won't even like it. They have a formula, you know, verse, chorus, fucking happy shit in the middle, verse, chorus, pop it all up and fucking put it in a package and make money. But they don't even like it. They know it's shit. It's like some people. It's different types of music again, you know. Underground death metal is, you know, it's never gonna make money. You're never gonna be famous. So it's from the heart. It's real. But this American Idol shit, it's people get into that for the fame and the money. It's not to create music. It's not to, I don't know. It's a different
No,
buzz.
I get it.
A different
I get
game.
Yeah, because people get in it to chase that. I think, Steve, you bang on, but they'll chase the trend. Abaddon has never chased the trend. We've always been the same, and it's not because we don't the ability. We are what we are. I think that the swap from Last Supper to Nadir was a grindy sound, but it's just because Miesco at the time, and like here we got this kind of grind guitar sound. The songs were already written. We were going towards a grind thing, but we never really changed our trend. And that's why you can still hear these like really death metal songs that come out for like 4.5 minutes on our 6th album to be, you know. So yeah, whether we have the capability to go with the trend or not is a different thing, but we haven't. We've just always been like, this is what we are, this is what we do, and whatever comes out, and fuck you if you don't like it. And if you do like it, great.
Yeah,
we never chased the trend or tried to sound a certain way because all the current bands sound like that. And you know, every couple of years a new fucking thing comes along. Old school death metal, you know. What's that? That's a new thing.
Gonna come full circle and we're gonna be right in the middle of it, but until that happens.
We keep missing the curve, like, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
yeah, I can definitely understand that. Yeah, I like all genres of music, really. I mean, I can listen to anything from like AC/DC to Led Zeppelin to Michael Jackson to you guys or Cannibal Corpse or whatever, you know. But I've been telling my Facebook friends for years, they're always like, you only listen to metal. I'm like, no, I listen to everything. You've mistaken me for somebody else.
I'm a metalhead, but
That's
I do listen to lots. I listen to this shit as well. But you can't just listen to fucking brutal underground death metal all the time. You're going insane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to toss it up in the air a little bit.
Like, you meet some fucking crazy fuckers when you're on tour, and they're just like brutal death metal, and that's all they listen to. And you can see they're fucking they're not there anymore. They've gone to a different planet, you know.
Yeah, I know.
They're not coming back.
I can just see it now. You guys are on a tour bus somewhere, and next thing you know, you're throwing a Willie Nelson CD, and you're like, "Where'd that come from?" We found it along the side of the road. I'm on Highway 66 or something.
Even you know that big festival in Czech Republic, Obscene Extreme. Have you heard of that one?
I am familiar with that.
Yeah, so the guy who runs that, Kirby, he organized a tour for us many years ago around Czech Republic, and he'd just be putting ABBA on all the time, you know, ABBA, Dancing Queen, and all that shit. I'm like, why are you putting the shit on for? And he's like, I cannot listen to any more fucking brutal death metal. I need to listen to something nice and easy, you know.
I thought he was taking the piss when that happened, though. And
yeah, but he kept doing it. He just kept doing it. No, he likes the shit.
Yeah, like, okay. Just like met the guy within 5 minutes. He had ABBA on. You're like, all right, dude. But no, I totally get it.
That's
okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, like so I listen to a lot of different stuff. And I also think that it kind of helps you as well. Not just because you're like, you know, you need to give your brain a bit of time away from death metal, but I wouldn't listen to a lot of metal all the time now anyway. I just listen to a lot of different stuff. And I think that kind of helps you creatively. So that you come up with different kind of riffs, structures that you wouldn't do listening to the same kind of music the whole time, and I've always been like that. So, you know, I think it's, yeah, I definitely think so. It's helped me anyway to get a better perspective, a kind of a broader range, rather than just listening to, because like at some stages in my life, I was literally, it's the same kind of bands one after another. And as you say, Steve, you're just like, you know.
I know you were talking earlier about what influences Abaddon Incarnate as well. So sometimes I'll just try and pick out, you know, Irish traditional shit on the acoustic, and then you might get like one little lick, tiny little lick, and I'll go, what the fuck, if I put that in that riff I had 3 months ago, that would make that riff awesome, you know, just this little bit, you know, at a certain place. And so if you listen to a broad range of music, you know, you can bring those influences into the death metal. If you just listen to pure death metal all the time, you're just gonna do the same shit over and over.
Exactly.
You need to have external shit come in, I think.
Well, I think I got one last question for you guys. You guys have any last words for Underground Noise?
Thanks for having us on, man. It's great. It's great to have the interest, you know, especially from the States. We haven't had anything from the States for a while, so it's nice. Thank you.
Second that. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it as well. And before I stop the recording, I'm gonna say I heard someone's cell phone go off.
It wasn't mine.
Yeah, it's mine. Yeah.
Mine's got the
Bill,
same.
it's very unprofessional. Very unprofessional, dude.
Mine makes the same sound.
Sorry about that.
Mine makes the same exact sound. I get a notification on my phone, whether it's a text message or if it's a game notification, like Pokemon Go or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking hopping.
Yeah, thanks for your time, guys. It's been awesome.
No problem.
No worries, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Later.
Later.